What is up, mental patients? Thank you for watching all of my. Well, I presume you've watched all of them. That's gonna be awkward if you haven't. Thank you for watching all or some or none of my top 10 new roles videos that I've been doing about Town of Salem, telling the game developers what to put in their own game because I'm just that much of a dick. This is the top 10 neutral killing roles for Town of Salem from my own list. These are the fun guys. These are the life of the party. The neutral killers who don't do what nobody say and like to stab people in the vajayjay? No, that's not right. Anyway, number 10 is the Drifter. The Drifter is neutral killing, of course. I gotta remember not to say that because they're all neutral killing. You kill up to 3 players, and if you successfully kill 3 players, you leave town and automatically win. So this is basically like the executioner getting his target, but all you have to do is successfully kill any 3 players in the game. You can be role blocked, you can be jailed, you can have all the things done to you that a normal player can have done to them. You are not night immune, so you can be killed. The thing is, you basically are like a serial killer, but mixed with an executioner. Like the serial killer and the executioner did the dirty and had a baby. That's you. If you do not successfully kill, your night action is not used up. So this isn't like a vet alert, where if you alert on the night and nobody visits you, you lose the alert. You would still be able to kill, 3 people. So if you miss somebody, or you get role blocked, or they're immune, or they wear a bulletproof vest, or they get healed, if you didn't kill the person, you'll still be able to kill up to 3 people. So, don't worry about that. You don't win with anyone. You have to kill 3 people and leave town. That's it. I like this role because I like the idea of people in town seeing this person was killed by a drifter. Oh god, we have to find the drifter before they leave. This person was killed by a drifter. Uh-oh, 2 of them, now he just needs 1 more. Third person, this person was killed by a drifter, and the alert at the beginning of the day will say, the drifter has killed 3 people and left town. We will never know who he was. And of course you'll know who he was because the player will be gone from the, round, but it's more like a story-wise kind of thing. Number 9 is the Spree Killer, which is sort of similar to the Drifter. The Spree Killer selects a player each night to add them to their hit list without their knowledge. This is sort of like an arsonist dousing somebody, except the person that you're picking is not notified. So you're secretly adding people to your hit list. Every time someone, causes some slight against you or annoys you or whatever, you're adding them to your hit list. When you successfully add 4 currently living players, you can select yourself to kill them all and yourself. You're like an arsonist that ignites and then takes himself with them. If you successfully kill 4 people and yourself, you win. Again, this is like the executioner mixed with the arsonist instead of the serial killer. The arsonist and the executioner did little naughty things, and you're the baby. Shuffling right along, number 8 is the Convict. The Convict is basically, as you would expect, an escaped convict. You select 1 player to kill each night, and you are night immune. You win with evil rolls like anything else. You will automatically kill anyone who tries to investigate you. This would be the investigator, consigliere, sheriff, etc. If you kill someone who checks you, that replaces your killing, just like if the serial killer gets role blocked, they kill the escort or consort instead of their intended target. If the jailer does not execute you, you will attack them, because you're a convict, and, you want to kill the jailer because you ain't going back into prison. I've been there. Can't go back. Can't go back to the pen. I'll go crazy. I'd rather die. As I wrote in the additional information, this is basically exactly like the serial killer, but instead of killing role blockers, you kill investigative people. So this is someone who can be role blocked. The convict can be blocked by the escort and consort because he's been in prison and he hasn't seen a woman in years. But yeah. The thing is, I think this would add a nice little wrinkle to the game. I mean, the serial killer is pretty cool. It's a nice role to get. And if a consort or escort comes after you, you knife them right in the butt. But the convict would be sort of a little flip of that, and you can be role blocked, but you kill people who are trying to check what your role is. As I say, I know it's pretty much exactly like the serial killer, but with a small change. but I like that change enough to say that it should be its own separate role that should be available for people to try out. Number 7 is the Plague Doctor. I kind of want a better name for that, but I haven't thought of what it would be. People can suggest names if they want, but usually I come up with these things on my own because I'm a dick like that. I just have to sit and stew and wait and figure out what I think is the best thing. I don't know. The Plague Doctor selects one person at night to give them a plague. The target will not be told that they carry the plague. Hello, Skype. Hello, Skype! The target will not be told that they have the plague, and everyone who visits the target or is visited by the target will contract the plague, but they will be told. So in other words, I select Magnusword. He now is a carrier of the plague, but he's not told, okay? So anyone who visits Magnusword gets the plague and is told that he gave them the plague. Also, anyone Magnusword visits gets the plague and is told that he gave them the plague, okay? That's the thing, is I'm basically infecting one person, and he infects other people who visit him and other people he visits. And now, as the Plague Doctor, you can select yourself at night to kill everybody who has the plague. In other words, all the people who have been infected by Magnusword, you can now kill them. I'm not sure about the additional information on this. I would think that your target that you gave the plague to, since he's just a carrier of it, I would think he doesn't die. Only the people who visited him and the people he visited. I would also say that you can't infect more than one person unless you kill everybody who has the plague. So, in other words, if I kill everyone who's been infected, then the next night I could reinfect a single person as the carrier. So basically, when you get this role, you would just be doing like a waiting game, because you infect one person, and then you kind of go along, and you hope that the infection spreads to enough people through all the visiting going on. And maybe 1 day later, maybe 3 days later, maybe at the end of the game, you select yourself and kill everyone who has the plague, and you hope that it was enough to let you win. Number 6 is the Poisoner. The Poisoner selects a player at night to poison them, and the poisoned player will die within 3 days. So in other words, you're like a serial killer, selecting people, but instead of killing them the night you select them, it takes them 3 days to slowly die. This sucks, you say. That's way too slow. Why can't you just kill them right away? Serial killer is better. Here's the reason why the Poisoner is actually a role that could compete with serial killer. Your kills do not count as a visit. You're poisoning like the water supply of the house. You're poisoning something around the house of the player you're targeting. So you're not actually targeting the player. You're not visiting the player. So a lookout can't see you. A veteran can't shoot you if you poison the veteran. You're not actually visiting the house. So that's why I think that ranks up there with serial killer, is because your targets die after a few days, but you're protected from being discovered. So your target will not know that they're poisoned on day 1. It won't alert them. On day 2, it'll say that they feel ill, and that will be the first notice. It could say something like, "You feel ill. You must have been poisoned." Okay? On day 3, it'll say you feel very weak and are about to die or whatever. And on the 4th morning, you're dead. So if the poisoner is killed, I would think that their victims are no longer being poisoned and won't die in 3 days. Because, the whole thing about dying in 3 days is sort of like... I basically based this idea on, like, the little old lady who poisons her husband slowly over time. Like, she puts a little bit of poison in his meatloaf every night. And slowly over time, the husband gets sicker and sicker, and then he eventually dies. And the wife is like, "I don't know what happened. He just took ill, and over the course of the past 3 days, he really went downhill." So that's my idea here. So if the poisoner dies, I would think they are no longer doing the poisoning, and so the people no longer are wasting away. Number 5, halfway through, is the Mimic. The Mimic. I like saying Mimic, don't you? Mimic, 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 Mimic. The Mimic kills one person each night, okay? But here's the hitch. You take the place of whomever you kill, like the disguiser, and you leave your own will on the bodies. So no more getting, like with the disguiser, no more getting outed because the person you disguised as put their name in their will. You leave your will on each body, okay? The trick is you only have night immunity if you successfully change skins, okay? If you successfully kill someone. That means if your target was immune or healed by a doctor or you were role blocked, you do not have night immunity. You're only immune if you successfully kill and change into somebody else. So you, unlike with the serial killer, you can be blocked by the escort and consort. You don't automatically kill the jailer, if they hold you. So this may seem OP because you're taking people's place like a disguiser and leaving your own will, but there are counterbalances that make this a little less OP and more acceptable. Also, you should note that if you take the mafia's role, like if you take a mafia member's role, the rest of the mafia are going to know that you did that because they're going to see the forger die, and they'll say, well, wait a minute, if the forger's dead, the mimic must have killed our forger and taken his place. If you do become a mafia member, you don't see mafia chat. It's not like you become a full mafia member. You're just taking somebody's skin. You're taking somebody's look and name and taking their place. Number 4 is the sniper, and this is actually a role I came up with in the middle of one of my videos I did recently. It should be coming onto my channel soon, if not today. I don't know when it is. The sniper, in the video, it had a different setup, but this is the same basic premise. The sniper selects one player at night to kill everybody who visits that player. Stay with me here, because I know what you're saying already, but just stay with me. You select one player at night and kill everybody who visits that player, but you do not kill the player you're targeting. Only the visitors. So basically what's happening is someone's in their house, and everybody who comes to visit that person, you're like picking them off from a hill, okay? Your killings go through night immunity, meaning that if the Godfather, werewolf, serial killer is visiting your target, you shoot them right through the frickin' head. Alright, now, that's overpowered, you say. That's like the werewolf, you say. You are also night immune, throwing on the OP-ness there. The thing is, you can be role blocked by the escort, okay? If nobody visits your target, you don't kill anybody. Because as I said, you're not killing your target, you're only killing people who visit the target and not the target himself. So this is a bit of a gamble in terms of trying to pick who's going to be visited. Who could possibly be picked on tonight so that I can shoot them from the shadows? And yes, this is similar to the werewolf, but, because let's see, the werewolf every 2 nights can kill a person and everyone who visits that person. But you got to remember, the sniper can kill every night, and he kills everybody who visits a person except for his target, okay? And yes, that's similar to the werewolf, but of course, a serial killer, as I put in the notes here, a serial killer is just a godfather without mafia and the automatic killing of role blockers and jailers. I mean, the Godfather and the serial killer are night immune characters who kill one person a night. So does that mean that there shouldn't be the both of them because one is similar to the other? So that's my idea with the sniper. It is similar to werewolf, but they are different, so why can't there be both? Number 3 on the list is the developer. The developer is a role for all you people out there who are like me, that like weird role ideas that still don't break the game. So the developer, who's basically, you know how they have those descriptions of your role when you start? Like it says, you're a crooked cop out to take justice into your own hands, or whatever the fuck it says for vigilante. The developer would say something like, you're a crooked developer who wants to, make sure no one is left owning land in Salem, or some bullshit like that. You select a person to kill each night, and if immune players are the only ones left, your attacks go through immunity. So if it's a developer, an arsonist, a serial killer, and a Godfather, if that was the lineup that was left, or, just the developer, serial killer, and Godfather, or whatever, the developer could then kill night immune roles, because only immune people are left. The developer's winning condition is that he has to be the last player alive, only. The developer can only win by himself, and has to make sure every other player in the round is dead. All 14 players. No survivor, no witch, nobody. He has to kill every single person and take over the land. So basically, I would think that if the developer and the witch came down to the end, or the developer and the escort, if it was somebody who could stop the developer from killing, the developer would lose to that person. Okay? And it's sort of like a hard mode role. You do have to make sure that you kill everybody who can stand in your way. And I don't see anything wrong with a few roles that are harder to play, because that is what gives the game different difficulty levels and gives you things to try to accomplish. Yeah, so that's about it for that. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. The developer is night immune. Number 2 on the neutral killing role list is the bomber. The bomber selects a player at night up to 3 nights to rig a bomb in their house. If your target is visited, they and their visitors will be killed. Now, again, you're saying this is like Werewolf. First of all, I wrote this basically before the Werewolf came out, and I still stand by it for a very specific reason that'll be clear when I get to number 1, okay? You select a player, plant a bomb in their house. If the target is visited, the visitors and the target will be killed. Your bomb stays in the house until you select a different house. So in other words, if you rig up a bomb in somebody's house and nobody visits them, you don't lose that ability. It just means that the bomb will stay there until somebody visits, or if you select to go with a different house. And if your bomb doesn't explode, you would still have the 3 uses. It's not like you can use up all 3 on dud bombs, okay? The thing is, that I like about this, is that the bomber can kill people even if he's blocked or jailed. Like, let's say you set a bomb in somebody's house, and then you're jailed the next night. The bomb is still there. You don't need to set it off or anything. It's rigged to explode. So if people visit your target, they're still going to all die, even if you were jailed. Even if you were role blocked by the escort or consort. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. One thing I don't know is if the bomber should have night immunity. He probably should, because it's kind of like, it's going to be a bit difficult to get things going as the bomber, and make sure you get a big body count. But, that's up to you guys. That's up to the developers if they ever added it. And now, the number 1 role that needs to be added for the neutral killing class on Town of Salem from my own list, the Werewolf. Wait a minute, Tormental, you hate the werewolf. Yes, I hate the werewolf that is in the game right now. Every 2 nights, you can select to kill somebody, and if people visit that person, all the people who visit are killed, including your target, even if it's veteran, even if it's a night immune godfather or serial killer. If a consort blocks you, you stay home and you kill the consort. And, it just is... It's like a train wreck. It's, to me personally, it's like a big mess of all these weird rules and weird things going on. There's a full moon in Salem every 2 nights? It just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't like the fact that the werewolf, if I'm the serial killer and I go to kill somebody, other than the bodyguard or veteran, I don't really want to be killed by somebody, just because the werewolf randomly chose that person. All the night immune people, get lined up for the slaughter. So, anyway, here's my version of the werewolf, which I believe is a little more, I want to say better, which I wrote in the post here to be a dick, but I want to say it's more elegant. And elegant meaning simple and logical, okay? It's much more simple. As the werewolf, as I wrote it, you would select yourself at night, and this would be every night, not just full moons. We're going on the assumption that the werewolf changes every night, as opposed to on a full moon night, which, is in some myths, and some others have it just on full moons, and blah, blah, blah. You select yourself at night to change and kill a random person. Alright? So you're not selecting a person and killing them and everyone who visits. You're selecting yourself at night if you decide you want to change and kill a random player. So you may be killing, someone good to kill. You may be killing somebody who revealed as mayor and is protected. You may be killing someone you know is your ally. You're killing someone random that you don't get to choose. The reason for that is you're turning into a beast. You turn into a mindless werewolf who goes about rampaging and ravaging the town, okay? So my thought with that was, you kill a random person. Your attacks would ignore night immunity, which I can much better I can much better stand the ability to go through night immunity if you're not killing everybody who visits one person and that person. Because, I mean, you could kill the Godfather, serial killer, arsonist, all in one night by visiting the veteran, and then you'd die too, but you know how that goes. So your attacks ignore night immunity, but you're only killing one person. Your attacks would also be anonymous to the lookout, who would see you just as a beast. So in other words, something like, a beast visited Magnusord last night, and then Magnusord is dead by the werewolf. So yeah, you win with rolls that win with the serial killer, etc. and so forth. You only have night immunity if you choose to change that night. Okay? So let's say you don't want to change because you don't want to accidentally kill the witch or survivor who are still in the round with you, and you know who they are and you know they're on your side. So you don't want to change because you might kill them randomly. You don't know who you're going to kill. Oh, what decision do you make? So you're not going to be night immune that night if you decide not to change. And maybe the Mafia kills you. Maybe they don't, whatever. Or maybe you change anyway and just take the risk. And either you kill someone who was on your side or you actually manage to kill, the Godfather or something. So I feel like this is a role that brings a bit more, I don't know, it throws like a little random flavor into the game and a little touch that, changes up the round without making it basically the the strange concoction that is currently in the game. Every 2 nights you can kill everybody who visits one person, including that person, and here's all this, additional set of rules. Isn't it much simpler and much more logical to say, what does a werewolf do? They change into a beast at night. Okay, well, the werewolf role changes into a beast at night, randomly kills somebody for no reason, and is immune if they change. I mean, that's so much simpler, and it would have been a lot less code. So yeah, I mean, if they ever changed it, I don't think they're ever going to change it, because it would be a lot of work to change it, even to something as simple as this. And plus, people probably don't hate the werewolf as much as I do. But that's my number 1 role. And maybe I could even rename this, and it could be a separate role idea that could be in with the werewolf too. I don't know what it would be called. But yeah. That's the top 10 neutral killing roles that should be in Town of Salem, according to my own list. And thank you for watching. There is a bonus video coming. Be sure to watch for it.